the fact that they stayed together as long as they did. And also look at the fact that your granny had a spot in the house that every day she went to, and your grandpa had a spot in the house every day he went to. You looked at it like, oh my God, I don't want to get married and then I don't spend time with my man, or I don't want to get married and then I don't do this and I don't do that. But they were happy. You were looking from an unaligned space and place. They were looking at it from maturity. They understood and they knew that all was well. That's how they could stay together, because they understood they didn't have to do everything together to quote unquote be one. This new generation, literally takes the scriptures and takes the vows like literally. The two become one. We are now connected. You cannot go anywhere without me, and I cannot go anywhere without you. And I'm sorry, but that is just not the purpose for us in life. I'm getting some good shots, you guys. Nature just popping up everywhere. We have to allow each other their time and their space to grow. To and they can't do it. You can grow together and still be apart. How's that? Like, your husband or your wife or your children don't have to be in the same space with you all the time to show for you to know that you are loved. You should know that you are loved whether they speak to you, whether they say anything or not. The mere fact that you are love shows that you are loved. God created us. God is love, right? And if you are a part of God, if you are His child, if He lives in you, then you are love. So you don't have to have love to be love or to be loved. You just are love. I know it don't make sense in words. But when you clear the clutter, it makes a lot of sense. You appreciate people and you don't condemn them. You don't judge them. You don't feel rejected by them. All of those feelings, all of those negative emotions that we feel in life, I feel unappreciated. I feel left out. I feel I don't belong. I feel disrespected. All of that is signs that you got some inner work to do. Because when you realize who you are and that other people were not placed here on earth to tend to you, even if you married them, even if you birthed them, even if they birthed you, I look back now at my mom and I respect her completely. She was one of the perfect examples of how to find your alignment in life. My mom was sort of like, like you see with birds and animals. They have a child. They don't keep the baby up under them until they 18, 21, 35, right? They kick that baby out that nest. Right? Like you see cubs, you see baby animals on their own, and what's the first thing you say? Oh my God, where's the mom? Where it's supposed to be, minding its business. It's done its job. The mama birthed it, nurtured it the time it's supposed to nurture it, and left it. Left it to then allow God to nurture and to bring out of it what it is in it. That's why you got so many, what you call them, mama boys, spoiled daddy girls. That's because people over stay their welcome in other people's lives. Why? Because the people who are growing and nurturing you don't even know who they are. And they're looking. How many parents have had children selfishly? How many parents have had children because they needed something to focus on, to feel loved, or to be loved? If you would be honest, you would see that. The only reason you've had those children was because that's how you either felt you could keep a man, keep a woman. If you didn't keep them afterwards, now you have something of theirs to hold on to or to feel loved because you don't have an adult person. So now you have this child who has to look to you because they have no one else to look to. It's an ego thing if you really look at it. So I really respect, and I know it's going to sound difficult and hard for folks to see, but the quote unquote narcissistic people that we shun in life, if you really look at them, if you really learn from them, you will grow up. Any relationship you've been in, and now you look back like, oh my God, he was just, or she was just a narcissist. You learned because now you are at a different place. They ironed, sharpened iron. When I say they sharpened you to a T, you're not growing if the person is not challenging you. The only way you grow in life is through contrast, is through challenges. If everything is peachy, if everything is the way you want it to be all the time, that's not growth. That's stunning you. And if you're not happy because of contrast, if you're not happy because things are not going your, if you can't smile and be okay with the fact that you and your spouse are not speaking, or you and your child is not speaking, or you haven't spoke to your mom in months, that's keeping you from your goals in life. That's what's keeping you from that money that you're trying to make. That's what's keeping you from your dream home or your dream job. It's not the action of you saving money for it and this and that, and well, that too, because you're trying to effort yourself into stuff and you can't. You have to just flow into it. Nature does not force anything, and it just flows. The birds don't force nothing. They just all their needs are met. We try to force it, and we try to get all these rules and regulations and restrictions and guidelines, and we are stuck. We miss it. We spend years chasing our tails, judging others, comparing ourselves to others. And then when we see others who are flowing, who get it, who life is just, seems like to us, everything is easy to them, then we get mad and we try to throw shade, or we find excuses. Well, her daddy probably, or well, if she was born into a family that. No, it has nothing to do with that. They are just aligned with who they really are. And if you stop worried about what they're doing, what they're not doing, who they hang out with, who they don't hang out with, where they go, where they don't go, if you focus on what you're doing and stay happy, maybe your life will turn. Maybe your tides will turn. Maybe you'll find a wave that you can just coast on. That is how you enjoy life. You go to work every day worried about your coworker. What they wear, what they don't wear, how they act, how they don't act. What they, girl, you can let them, they can run all over you. I got caught up in that. Girl, you got to put them in their place, because if you don't, they, And I was stuck for years because that wasn't me. And had I done it the right way, well, really, there is no right or wrong way, but had I done it the easy way, I'll say, I would have had more of an expansive, happier daily journey. But because I allowed other people, in their lack of knowledge or understanding in situations, and how the laws and how God set things up to work, I got stuck for a minute until I decided to change from within. Then I saw, like, okay, now I get it. And when you get it, you can't teach it in words to other people. It just, it either resonates with them or it doesn't. It either makes sense or it doesn't. When it doesn't, it's just mumbo jumbo. It's just, oh, you got your head in the clouds. That's unrealistic. But if you get it, it clicks. And you can't be mad at people when they don't get it. When people don't get you, that's okay. Don't judge them. Don't, talk about them. Just love them. Because remember, you are love. Just continue to just stay in your space and be love. What did it say? It said, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. That is not, we're looking at that word work as actual action of work. Sometimes it's just smiling when you should be, or when people think you should be frowning. Sometimes it's being happy when people think you should be upset. That is work. Just let your light shine. You don't have to force it. Oh, I'm gonna love the hell out of. You ain't gonna. No, you gonna pull up more hell out of them. That's what you gonna do. And then you gonna be mad at yourself. Well, that's when you really mad at. But you gonna portray them anger at them when you can't get them out their funk because it's not your job to. They have to do that themselves. And that's where we miss it. But I'm gonna be honest. The narcs, they get it. And they work you to the T. They enjoy it. They get pleasure from it. Because they're still trying to find who they are. So they're using you as their object of affection in an opposite way. And you're using them as your object of affection in another way to try to get, you're trying to get the good out of them. And see, some people are on high vibes and some people are on low vibes. Some people thrive off of your happiness and some people thrive off of your sadness. Either way it go, you're still doing it wrong because you're not supposed to thrive off of other people. You thrive from within. And until you figure that out, then and only then will you truly find happiness. We are looking for love in all the wrong places, in all the wrong faces. You will move from state to state, house to house, relationship to relationship, still trying to figure it out. Group, organization, churches, whatever. Now, just because people move a lot don't mean that they're, some people need that in order to stay happy. They decide that that is their road of least resistance in life, and that's how they keep their peace. Let them go. If you want to stay in one spot for 35 years and you good with the torture, whatever it is you're dealing with, don't judge another person because they move around a lot. I respect my dad. He has worked multiple companies.